Welcome to Fear the Fallen's Weekly Highlights. I'm Arctic Blast, and this week I'm joined by...
Deadborn 1.
And Fire Blaster Boy.
We start off with me in my AMX M4 on Malinovka.
Everybody loves this map. This is just everybody's favorite map, and that field is just a lovely, happy piece of music.
See, I actually luck out in this particular matchup because the enemy tanks, for the most part, they seem to ignore me. And in an AMX M4, if I'm ignored and given time to aim...
Did you just bounce a shot? In a French tank?
It happens once every 100 battles.
I'm curious how he's already still living through this much of the match, much less bouncing shots.
And
or
still
having
doing
that much
damage.
Yeah, and that many kills. Yeah, it was... I don't know how it happened, but it did.
And then
this
this
poor
is
guy.
just beautiful. We are pleased to introduce the French Flying Club.
No one else wanted to deal with them.
Yeah, well, he just had a bad day. And now you're stuck. Good job, Arctic.
I get myself free. It was, there's no one around to deal to mess with me, so,
And then these ranged shots. The French tanks are accurate, but their aim time's terrible.
Yeah, so normally they don't get to make those shots because they're too busy trying to not get hit.
What's
And a Reaper, so,
Kill stealing. And then we're back on everybody's favorite cesspool.
this time with AJ Steele and his Cromwell.
This tank is just a wonderful, wonderful fun tank. The rate of fire and movement on this thing are just beautiful.
Yeah, and just for the record, this is not being shown in 2x mode. That is its rate of fire. That is how fast it drives.
Yeah, well, when even the watcher of this replay thinks he's in 2 times the speed, because that's how fast it's going, you know it's a quick tank.
That whole speed is life thing is definitely very much real in this tank, except in this case where he really shows off. If you hide, you can obliterate most anyone before they even see you.
Yeah, the rate of fire on this tank will rip almost everything apart by the time they even realize what's shooting them. And they'll go, oh, it's just a Cromwell. Oh god, where'd my health go? And then they're being capped at this point. But watch this shot. This is just a beautiful shot.
Yeah, that's
a
how you
moving
hit it.
scout. That is how you hit a moving scout. And here is a scumbag attempting to scumbag.
He was just
Here
a little
is
small in
AJ
that shot.
attempting to scumbag.
The only thing that would have made this engagement right here better is if AJ had rammed him into the water. Honestly, in my opinion.
Scumbag would have drowned. And then this is a
This is just-
horribly unlucky experience for AJ.
Yeah, he bounced, basically, and that kept him from getting the kill. But he did earn his marks of excellence, so...
That's always a great outcome. And then we have Death from Above in his Cromwell on Siegfried line.
Yeah, so this map being city-ish, he's stuck more in a brawling mode, but as you'll see, he still manages to hold his own, even being face-to-face with the enemy.
And then, of course, there's a Hellcat in the city. Why would you go city in a Hellcat, ever?
Or why would you be in an M4 and show your side?
Yeah, exactly. You've got 101 millimeters of frontal armor. Why would you give your side?
Because it's just a Cromwell until they die.
Yeah. That's when the screaming starts. What the heck, man? You're not supposed to
Kinda like
kill
this
things
guy.
in Cromwell. This guy, oh, Cromwell. Oh, it's not a threat. Oh god, where'd my health go?
It's pretty much exactly what's been going on right there.
And then this ARL. What's he thinking? Why isn't he shooting?
Ready to fire.
Oh,
And here we are. Cromwell versus Cromwell. Who's going to win?
Enemy armor is
Convict. Siegfried line welcomes careful drivers.
I think the being against the wall kind of gave him that little bit of a buffer. That was just enough to keep those 9 hit points.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
And then here he is, dancing with the Su-100 with only 9 hit points.
HE doesn't even need to hit him to kill him at this point.
The splash
Isn't this-
radius from that 122mm gun would be more than enough to annihilate him with missiles.
Enemy armor is damaged.
And then he goes and tries to run away.
But you're not gonna run away from a Cromwell.
Gotcha. Target acquired.
And then there's always those little scumbags.
Poor
Enemy
Drill.
armor is destroyed.
He thought he could take a Cromwell with 9 health. And then
Then
this
watch
is
this
just
here.
horribly unlucky for Convict.
Still out. This
Heat
vehicle
from an
damage.
M37. And if that M37 would have missed, it would have been all over.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now we have Herbie in his Hellcat on Wide Park.
Herbie's putting this tank to use the way it was intended. A back of the line
Enemy
sniper.
armor is damaged.
And then he focuses on the way the battle's unraveling, and he goes from one flank to the other flank just to make sure he isn't sitting idle doing nothing.
And the Hellcat's fast enough to ensure that it can do that too.
See, and as a primarily heavy driver, this situation right there is one of the things that bothers the crap out of me, because these Hellcats can just disappear from one spot and show up in another one, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Especially in a Churchill, because they just don't move. And
Yeah, I
then
like the
right
shot here.
through the wall.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
And even
Turns
when
his
it even
view away.
yeah. Well, it disappeared for a second too, and he just continued on with his lead and just pulled the trigger.
And then that VK, what was he thinking?
I don't know,
And
but watch this shot.
It's just a beauty. Right into a scumbag.
Any of you Soviet
And it-
drivers, don't even think about it.
Yeah,
won't.
you're around to hit the oil rig and bounce back at you.
Yeah. Walks away with a Top Gun and a high caliber.
Here we have Crazy Bob 82 and an M4043 on Lakeville, just raining death from above.
Convict. I mean, what? And then he just annihilates that scout.
This
See,
guy
and
up on the rock.
And to reference what we said
Enemy
earlier,
armor is destroyed.
yeah, scumbags are scumbags, but these are our scumbags, which is why we like seeing this kind of stuff from them.
Because our scumbags aren't real scumbags.
True.
That was close.
And they contribute to the outcome of the battle.
Yeah,
And that should
exactly.
have been a kill.
But this Dicker Max this is overkill to the extreme.
Gotcha.
Change, please, for that show.
And for the record, Brady didn't hit he actually missed.
And here we have Free Penguins, also an M40, M43 on Santa River. And just notice how many heavies are just lined up waiting for him.
There are 5 big dumb heavy tanks in a tier 10
Critical
game
hit.
on this choke point, and artillery love choke points.
Critical hit.
Especially
That's
when your
damage
team
on the
is
board.
smart and can hold them in place.
Yeah, that's like the dream for an arty, is just to have those tanks held there in the open for
That
him.
was close.
That was close. Yeah, it will still do 450 damage. And then this.
Enemy
Oh!
armor is destroyed.
Bombardier
I mean,
battle.
the skill to line that up, I mean, that's a hard shot for anybody.
And then this Bat Chat, what is he thinking? Penguins is telling him that he's targeting that artillery, and the Bat Chat's still thinking.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not going to reload in time, you need to get out of there.
And then here comes me in the mighty, mighty Mouse. This IS-7 should have been very dead. But then, so should I. My tracksuit his first shot like an absolute boss.
Get going.
And then, shoot Mouse in the face? Mouse doesn't care. Mouse has 240 millimeters of turret armor.
I like this shot, though.
Enemy armor is damaged.
You're turning the whole time, and you just pull the trigger as soon as it's lined up. No pausing, no nothing.
This should have went right through, but the Mouse's pen is kind of lacking.
See, Mouse doesn't want your shells. Mouse just wants his cheese back, and he's gonna take it.
Vehicle destroyed.
Mouse will take the cheese and your soul and heart at the same time. And then this poor IS-3's hearing footsteps after this. He repairs his tracks and right into the side. And he
And then
takes
he's stuck
4
on the
trickles
front
of
bumper.
damage.
I mean, yeah, look at that. I mean, it was. I think I saw that on the interstate the other day.
Hey, Fire Blaster, how'd you like your IS-3 hood ornament?
Enemy armor is damaged.
And then this T95. Well, if you're just gonna give me your side and cupola, I'm gonna take it. And here we have the righteous Deadpool in his amazing.
Enemy vehicle
See,
destroyed.
this game right here, I was playing a few games around in a platoon, and this is the first game I played as an artillery, and I'm thinking, okay, I've been playing some heavies, I've been playing my light, let's switch around to this. Nope. So I go angry arty mode. Don't slow down for nothing, don't take anything from nobody, except the
And then French
chance to do
tanks.
this.
Enemy vehicle
French
destroyed.
tanks, you should just not sit in front of S51s. Deadpool loves his S51, and it's easy to see why.
Critical hit.
Here we have
We
Shadow
have
Hulk.
Shadow
in his-
Hulk.
Yep, he's in his T28 on Soverovska, or
Penetration.
whatever that tongue twister.
I know the Tog's a party tank, but Tog, it's a T28. Go find somebody else to play with.
You are not going to hurt T28, Mr. Tog.
Enemy armor is
Fact-
hit.
T28 is going to hurt you.
Most things were bouncing off of that. I mean, the only time they ever seemed to pin him was when he was rotating to shoot something that went past him.
Got him.
And then he's just making amazing shots.
And I think that's something they forget about on the T28. I mean, it may be a slow tank,
But
but
it's
it
accurate.
turns. Oh, and it turns really fast.
And then that
For
Panther
something that
M10,
big.
that was a great shot.
Oh
And
yeah,
then
and what's this?
Yeah, you like that little French turret? Just kidding, goodbye.
Got him.
But you gotta
I guess
love
they
it
like
when
in the
tanks,
ass.
tanks just roll up in front of him, just let him just DPM to the max.
Yep.
And then we have Mr. Boss on everybody's favorite cesspit.
And this T-34, generally, it's better off as a, I don't know, how would I phrase it, as a,
It's a
sort of like a
mid-
support. Yeah, he usually does best when he's integrated in with a bunch of heavies, because as opposed to a lot of other mediums, he's not really that good on flanks by himself,
They're knocked out.
because he's not usually too accurate. However, Mr. Boss makes him seem to be like the most accurate gun
And
there
then
is.
these invisible shots are just amazing.
I mean, like here, it's gone, and he's still tracking it.
Enemy
And he
vehicle
And he
gets the
still
kill.
kills it. Yeah, I mean, wow.
And it's just the confidence of what he's doing, though, too, is because you can notice, like, with this shot here,
He
doesn't
doesn't
even
even
worry about it. Just knows it's going to go in, keeps on rolling.
What's sad is right here. He doesn't kill the Artie with this shot. He sits and such. I mean, the Artie's not going to be able to hit him. Look at how slow he's turning compared to the rate of, his reload.
Where'd they go?
And they steal it from him.
And Death is almost completely reloaded when they kill it, too.
Penetration.
They say that kill stealing isn't for real, but that was a kill steal.
Penetration.
Well, that wraps up this week's highlights. Don't forget to use the comments below to vote. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Have a good one.